when all of the problems that we have in life, that's what the Torah is for. That's what we're supposed to have. Now, Bechavod, you guys have some questions. I have some more information, but I know that you guys have some questions, so please. Who wants to go first? Yes?
Rabbi Yaron Reuven sleep more than 15 consecutive minutes.
Ken?
Yet he had so much bitachon. If someone has even the most of the problems that they can have, but they have so much bitachon, why do they have trouble sleeping?
It's not that he didn't sleep because of the he didn't have bitachon. He didn't sleep because he had to deal with the problems. He had a son that tried to kill him. He had certain people that literally, his own people, that prayed for him to die because they knew that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to allow the Bet HaMikdash to be built until he dies and Shlomo HaMelech goes into, becomes alive, becomes the king. And so on and so forth. He had so many problems that he never literally had any peace and quiet to sleep. The other thing is also the Chachamim say that him, along with many of the Chachamim, for example, the Gaon Mivilna, never slept more than 2 hours. And the reason why is because many of the Chachamim were very, very scared of the fact that they would lose control of their body when they would sleep. Now, this might not seem like much to most people. It's like, yeah, of course, you go to sleep. That's the point. Lose control of your body. They were scared of losing control of their body because when you lose control of your body, that means that the Sitra Acha, the Yitzhara, the Malach HaMavet can get control of it and it can influence you to do things you don't want to, specifically waste seed. They were so scared of the sin that they got to a point where they literally were scared to go to sleep. Because even though the sin would not be an intentional sin, nonetheless they knew what a sin really meant in heaven, and therefore they didn't even want to do it unintentionally. So many of the tzadikim never really slept much, and it's not because they were just so ambitious, it was also because they didn't want to lose control over their body.
Excuse me, Kurara. I just ate something because of this question.
Okay.
It's a good question, you know. But the reason he didn't sleep, not because that. He didn't sleep because he don't want to have it too much.
Too much, yeah. That's the wasting seed part.
That's the worst of the things. When you sleep, too much, it's getting him all the time.
How about?
So he didn't sleep, you know, he sleep like a horse.
Ken?
Few seconds.
Also, how do you differentiate ambition from bitachon?
So, having bitachon is having a happiness with whatever it is that you have. Whatever you have, good or bad. But also aspiring to do better. To do better. And giving everything that you do a meaning. Like you don't want to just have more money because you want to buy more stuff. You want to have more money because you want to be able to do more of what Hashem wants you to do. Yes, of course you could buy more stuff. You could buy a different car, you could buy a different house, but for what? What purpose does everything serve? In essence, the goal of the Torah is to attach Kedusha to everything material. So even if you're going to do business with Hashem in mind. First of all, conduct your business honestly. Second of all, be an honest business person in general. Third of all, have a kosher business. Don't go in, like I had one guy, came to me one time and he said, listen, I want to donate. I said, Baruch haba. He goes, listen, what do you do? We started asking some questions. I said, okay, it was after a shiur I had in my house maybe 4 years ago. I said, sure, whatever you want to donate. We have a lot of different things we're doing. Because I like your shiurim. He came to another shiur after that. And he brought his partner with him. And one of my students told me, he goes, you know who he is? I said, he came to my shiur and he says he wants to donate. That's all I know. He goes, this guy's worth $100 million. I said, I don't really care how much he's worth, but so maybe I'll donate. After that, he disappeared. Month, 2 months, 3 months, 5, 6 months, disappeared. So then I just got, I don't know, somehow he came up and I asked that student, I'm like, by the way, that guy that you said that's worth $100 million, how did he make the $100 million? Do you know? He goes, oh yeah, he owns nightclubs. I'm like, now I know why he didn't donate. Now I know why. There's no way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to allow someone that has a business that's a machtia rabim, that causes other people to sin, and take that money to cause people to do mitzvot. Doesn't match. Your whole business is to cause people to sin. And you think that Hashem is going to allow you to use the money that you cause people to sin in order to cause other people to make mitzvot? Impossible. Why? It's not midah, it's the opposite of measure for measure. You have to have migalgelim zchut leyedei zakai. They give the merit to someone that has a merit. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to give someone that's a murderer the benefit of, let's say, saving a life. Doesn't work. It's the opposite. So now it made sense. Even though the money wasn't the problem, the merit was the problem. So if a person has bitachon, he's going to aspire to do more, but always have Hashem in mind that regardless of what he has to conduct his business the right way, he has to be an honest person, and so on and so forth. But also know that whatever he's aspiring to have, has to have a Kadosh Baruch Hu in mind. So yes, you could aspire to have, let's say, grow your business from $1 million to $10 million. No problem. You want more. You're going to do your ishtadlut, your effort, to get to that. But whether you get to it or not, that's only in Hashem's hands. It's only in Hashem's hands. So you're going to do your effort without canceling the Torah or putting the Torah on hold. You're simply going to have bitachon that I'm going to put my ishtadlut, and if Hashem desires for me to succeed, He'll succeed. Which means if you succeed, it's only because of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you failed, it's also only because of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Which means that one way or the other, whether you succeed or fail, you're still happy. You're still happy. Why? Because both are the will of Hashem. That's why they say, the Baal Shem Tov, Alav Shalom, said, if he goes up to Shamayim, and after the Bet Din in Shamayim says, Baal Shem Tov, all the things you did were wrong. You're going to go to Gehinom. The Baal Shem Tov says to his students, I'm happily going to jump inside Gehinom. Students said, wait a minute, your whole life you learned Torah, did good. Why? Why would you jump to Gehinom? Why would you be happy about it? Because that's also the will of Hashem. If Hashem wants me to go to Gehinom, my whole life is to do the will of Hashem. If He wants me to go to Gehinom, I'll happily go to Gehinom. Meaning, obviously, He's not going to Gehinom. He didn't even see Gehinom. Point being, Rabotai Karim, is that when somebody tunes their mind, tunes their heart to the extent where all they want is what Hashem wants, all they want is what Hashem wants. All they see is what Hashem sees. In essence, meaning, they want what Hashem wants. Good and bad become the same to them. Because of that bitachon that you have, that you know that, okay, this bad, that's from Hashem. This good, that's from Hashem. So this current situation, everything is from Hashem, I'm happy with it. Whatever it is. You're never going to get into a depressed state of mind. You're never going to get to a, stressed out, anxiety, or misery of some kind. A lot of people are miserable because they feel like they don't have enough. Somebody that has bitachon never has that. Why? Because they know that whatever they have, perfect. That's what Hashem wants. I'm going to try and do whatever I can to get more, but I'm always going to have Hashem in mind. Which means, number one, I'm going to do whatever I do as far as yishtadlut in the business. Two, I'm also going to do whatever I need to do spiritually. I'm going to check myself if I'm praying enough. I'm going to check myself if I'm keeping Shabbat good enough. I'm going to check myself to see what am I doing spiritually to merit more. Do I have plans to make more money because I want to buy a bigger house so I could show off, or so I could actually fulfill the mitzvah of achnasat orchim, have guests for Shabbat, Talmidei Chachamim, Shurei Torah? Most people have a big house just to show off. Most big houses, they don't have Shurei Torah in them. They have a big house, the Shurei Torah are missing. So the question is, yes, Hashem will give some people that big house, and mabruk, enjoy it. Problem is that if you use that big house just to show off to people, when you go up to Shamayim, it won't look good. It won't be such a nice fancy house over there. You'll get punished for it. Why? Hashem says, I gave you a perfect tool to sanctify my name. I gave you 87 rooms in the house. You used one for you, one for your wife, one for the dog, and the other rooms were left empty. How come you didn't invite any avrechim to your house, Shurei Torah, something to your house? What, the whole house was just to show off to people? So I gave you a gift and you misused it. So bitachon means that it's not just having confidence that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, but it's also managing your life that way. Managing your life. You're allowed to want more, you're allowed to be ambitious, and you should be ambitious. That ambition is for you to want more in life. More spirituality mainly. And the way you do it is by attaching the materialism to the spirituality. That's one of the difficulties a lot of people have, is that as soon as they have a material in front of them, they have money in front of them, they forget about God a lot of times. That's why a lot of times you'll see bad stories on the news of, somebody stealing from the government, or all types of horrible stories with religious people behind it. It's not that they were not religious. They were religious. They just didn't believe in Ashgacha Pratit, which is that Hashem is watching everything. There's a lot of people that do good that you don't see in the news.